Hey, so we are here today to replace my 1989 Dodge D250 injectors. Okay, so first things first, we have to take off these two bolts, and then down here we have to take off this bolt, and we also have to take off this wire that goes here and down here. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we also have to take off this one right here. There we go. Okay, so these are 10mm, and we're taking them off now. These are the grid heater bolts, two of them. So when we put them back, we're going to tighten them down together. Yeah. And this bolt is also 10mm. This one we'll also have to take off, because this is the bottom of the whole bracket. Okay, so these three bolts are the same length, so we're going to put them in a parts dish, like that. Okay, well this isn't factory, I am doing this myself. Someone else modified my throttle linkage, so it is with a screw head bolt. Please don't fall. Okay, so we're getting off the injector pump fittings here, and just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. If I find some secret way to get these off easily, I will tell you guys. Okay, so we figured out how to get off the injector lines. You gotta have like a wrench, like literally straight up and down, and then you just gotta muscle it over and it'll break it free, and then you can twist it with your hand. And then we took this bolt off and this bolt off, we get the bracket off, and yeah, we'll show you what it is once we get it out. Go. So we're gonna be taking off these two, if I can get to all of them. There we go. Okay. Common rail injector lines. We're taking out the back first. The back seemed to be easier to take out first than the front. So the grid heater wires need to come out because this injector line needs to go up. So ow. Okay, so I'm taking off the second injector line. We're going to take off the bolt right here. You want to keep these lines together, because if you don't, it's a mess to try to get them all in the right order. So we're going to unscrew this. We're going to wobble this off. And it just takes some finesse. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now that we've taken those lines off, now we gotta take off the return line. Okay. We're on? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna be taking this off. We're gonna first have to get off the retaining nut, which is 24mm. So we're gonna spin that off really fast. The first one was very hard, and I was doing it myself to figure out what to do. Let's see, is there any more threading in there? And then I learned, just get a little pry bar. I know this isn't completely proper, but this is what I have. I know there's always some special puller tool to get this off, but yeah. See if I can get into that lip. Pull it up a little. Oh, it came up a little. I'm going to try from the other side now. Try from this side. coming. There's the retaining clip. That's how you get that out. It's really oily. I don't even see the ring in. Oh, well, there's the ring, but it looks hard. And then we're going to screw this on. And then we're going to grab this, and we're going to put it like this. And we're going to... Oh, there we go. Wow, that's really oil soaked. Wow. Or diesel soaked. This injector was probably leaking. Something's leaking. Okay. It's that one. And you just do that for all of them. Go. So we're pulling the injectors out with a homemade injector puller. I might leave specs to those on the YouTube page later. But this one is probably coming out. We've had a hard time with this one and this one. Number 5 seems to not want to come out. You know, this is what it shouldn't look like. I don't know if you can see this in detail, but look at how black and carbonized it is. There's a lot of gunk in there. We're gonna have to disassemble this. Go. So we got our nice new shiny dynamite diesel performance injectors. These are the best injectors, I think, in my mind. And they're all super nice and shiny here. So what we want to do before we install those is, my old injectors had oil and crap all over them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray carburetor cleaner all on this rag. And what we're going to do is come on over here and we're going to stick it in the hole with a screwdriver, and we'll get it around in there. We're going to pull it out, and it's got dirt on the end, and it's picking up the dirt from what the old injectors left. And what you normally do is you have that spot and you just move it over a little, and then you shove it in again, and then you wiggle it around, and you pull it back up. And yeah, more dirt. So I'm going to check in there, and if there's no dirt in there, then I will show you how to seat a injector. I don't see too much dirt in there. It has to be as clean as you... This is how you seat an injector. First, what you want to do is pull off this rubber cap, and you don't want to touch the end of this. This is a very specific orifice that if you scratch or burr when entering the area where the injectors go, you will have to buy a new injector. That's how specific these are. So what we're going to do is I come in here, and without having that touch anything, the sides may touch the wall, but that's it. And we're going to have, there's a silver bead right here. I think you can see it on the camera. It goes right around here and it seats down, and now it won't move. You'll know you're almost right there when the return line hole is right here. And then we put this around. These don't have to be as super accurate. We're going to screw this on, and I will grab the torque wrench and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is, the booklet said that these went to 40 foot-pound torque, so I've set mine to 40 foot-pound right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to twist it and pull, and we'll hear a click when it's about ready. Hear that click? That means that you got 40 foot-pounds of torque. There we go. And we're good. Okay, so we're torquing down one of the last ones. There we go. That's good. So I told you that I was going to give you more details on stuff like this, which is my custom-made injector puller, and little details about what went on here. Let's see. First, yes, I realized midway through that you should never go without one of these. This is my custom homemade injector puller that I pulled off in like 12 minutes from just random pieces. What we needed were a 1-inch piece of pipe, because the injector will it'll fit around the injector. And then what this is it's a Toyota truck lug, and it'll go on and it'll go through, and you'll screw it in to the top threads. And what it'll do is you'll have another lug up here that goes on your all thread, which we got with 36 inches, but we cut it down to size. And you'll grab a wrench and you'll just start tightening it down, and what it'll do is it'll pull it up. And these washers are just to hold the pressure onto this pipe. So, yes, that is that. Also, to redo your injectors, like I said earlier, you'd have to rebuild your injectors. You can use an ultrasonic cleaner to clean them out on the outside, and then rebuild them with white gas on the inside. You take it all apart. You will need some company to torque it down, because even if you notice there's a little bit of gap with threading on it, and at the factory from Bosch, each is a little bit turned differently, so that they pop at a very certain PSI. If you take it apart and you don't have a tester to know when it pops at, you'll have to get it done professionally. That's normally how that works. Also, you want to start this probably at 8 in the morning, because you're probably going to be doing it till 5 in the night, and you're going to want to do it probably on a Thursday or Friday, because Saturday I've noticed that no tool shops are ever open. Also, midway through, my cameraman had to leave, so I do not have any video of the last of the of putting the car back together. But to put it back together, what you're going to have to do is put all the lines back on the VE pump. On their side, you want to tighten it all the way up. On the other side, you want to get them screwed down and connect the return line. And then what you want to do is have them crack just a little bit. You want to have a friend looking at them from the engine side, and you're cranking the engine on the in the cab. And what'll happen is you'll see gas start coming up, like bubbling and stuff. And once it comes like a stream, you then close them, all 6, and then you're going to crank the car, and it's probably going to take about 10 seconds. That's what happened with mine. And it'll start. At first, if you just try to crank it without bleeding it, you're going to take 20-30 minutes of cranking it. By that time, you killed the starter, and now you have to tow it to a shop anyway. Also, always have a magnetic tray under your, what do you call it, the return line. I dropped a return line bolt, and I spent that night and the next day looking for it, because they're about $15 online. Oh yes, the injectors. If you have an 89 non-intercooled injector, I did not do this, and I really don't feel like opening it up again. It will, you gotta buy, if you're ordering sleeves and they're just 89 to 93, they're generic for intercooled, because non-intercooled could not fit into intercooled, but intercooled could. do the opposite and fit into non-intercooled. So what you want to do is there's these spacers that you buy on eBay, and you're going to want to buy a set of those and then use those instead of the copper washers. I did not. I think I'm okay. I see no adverse effects. I've been driving it for a couple days. Nothing's happened. It seems to drive like regular, but I'm getting a lot better gas mileage. Also, you're going to want to replace your fuel filter after you've replaced your injectors. Just as a precautionary, you never want to get anything dirty in your brand new injectors. And if your fuel filter is old, it can deteriorate and stuff can get through there. And I know injectors are a lot, and you spend a lot of money on them, so why not protect your investment with just a $20 Wix filter? Also, you're going to want a second person and lay it all out on a table, because I did this. It was a lot more organized. It worked a lot better. I think it was good in the long run. Thank you. If you like this video, please thumbs up and subscribe. Maybe write a comment on something I did wrong and how I can improve it. I would like to keep making these videos on my car and show how to work on it, because I haven't seen a lot of first-gen fix-it videos. I've seen a lot of like tune it on the fuel injection and stuff, but I never seen a detailed video, so that's why I was making these. Sorry that the last half of the video got cut off. My cameraman left, as I said, and that's how it worked out. So basically what we did is just put the injector lines back on and put the return line back on, and then put those 3 bolts back in the 3 sensors. And that's it. I mean, that's all you need to do. Just refer back to the front of the video for it. But yeah, that's it. Please make sure to thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.